Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Excelcast. I'm your host, Joe Parker, and today I'm going to be getting into a 5-step process on goal setting. Now, this is the 5-step process that I used when I was defining goals and setting goals. Everyone has their own goals that they want to work towards, and they have their own processes for how they do things. This is just specifically what worked for me. So step 1 in the goal setting process is you need to define a goal, a clear objective with a measurable outcome. So with my specific goal, my goal was to lose 100 pounds, right? Is that a measurable goal? Yeah, it's a measurable goal. So I clearly defined that goal. Now that was my overarching goal, right? So that was my end goal, my end result that I wanted to achieve. So that main end result needs to be clearly defined in order for you to even set out on this mission of goal setting to begin with. And one of the methods that I used for clearly defining my goals was SMART. So those are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-driven. So specific, what do I want to lose? I want to lose weight. How much weight do I want to lose? I want to lose 100 pounds. How do I measure that? I measure that on a scale, right? It's 100 pounds. You can measure 100 pounds. Is it attainable? It absolutely is attainable. 52 weeks, 100 pounds. It's about 1.7-ish. 2 pounds a week is probably what I would have shot for at the time. And then realistic, absolutely realistic. And then time frame as well. So time frame, I gave myself a year to do this. Now I actually ended up achieving this in 6 months and 21 days. So that's one of the benefits of breaking these things down and actually getting a plan of action together to start the goal. Because once you start the goal, you start rolling. You want more and more and more, especially when that's that clear, singular, defined goal that you want. Once you have that set in your mind, all you have to do is then step 2, which is break this down into actionable steps, right? So, losing 100 pounds, that's cool, right? What do I have to do? Now I have to break this down into 2 big categories. My 2 big categories were nutrition and exercise. And those were the 2 components that I was going to change in order to change my lifestyle and ultimately help myself lose the weight. So for the first aspect of it, nutrition, what can I do? Well, first I'm going to cut out all junk food and all extra sugar in my diet. I'm going to replace that with healthy foods, egg whites, rice, broccoli, spinach, beef, chicken, and I had like some kind of like Triscuits, crackers, stuff like that, especially when I first started. Get kind of upset with myself though whenever I would grab a Triscuit because it wasn't part of my main diet throughout the day. But I did have those moments where I needed some extra calories. And then my exercise. So my exercise consisted of me running or walking a few miles a day, build up obviously to me running or walking 8 to 10 miles a day, depending on my circumstance and depending on how long I wanted to go. And then it also consisted of me working out from anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half a day. And those 2 combination of things, they helped me put together an actionable plan that I took part in every single day. So some people say you need a rest day. A rest day is good if you're trying to maintain, if you're trying to be sustainable. But to be quite honest with you, that wouldn't have worked for me. That's a personal thing, right? Personally, that wouldn't have worked for me, wouldn't have helped me. So to create that actionable plan and follow on it every day and to remain consistent is truly what helped me achieve the goals that I did achieve and set deadlines. So this kind of goes back to the timely thing, being time oriented. You set certain deadlines for yourself. So if I said in a year's time, I'm going to lose 100 pounds and I never set other specific deadlines for myself, that probably wouldn't have worked as well. Right? Because I would have been like, I can start next month. I can start the month after. But I kind of set myself a goal to, at the end of every month, lose at least 15 to 20 pounds, depending on what the month was. That started out as like 10. I was like 10 a month is probably like my best way that I can angle this and do this. Because, 2 to 3 pounds a week is probably what I could have done, optimally. But it ended up, once I saw that I could do 15 to 20 pounds a month, that is what I aimed for, and that is what I wanted to do. So at the end of every month, I wanted to lose at least 15 pounds, but I really was shooting for 20 pounds a month. And I ended up hitting, around that, depending on, what the month was, if I had certain things going on, and how much exercise I had. And this is back way before I was really tracking my stuff and I really understood calorie deficit, what all that was. This was just me just eating what I could. I wasn't measuring anything out. I just knew what to eat and what was right about eating. And then I just put my nose to the grindstone and just absolutely every day walked, ran, and just grinded out, exercising and keeping the right nutrition all the time. Another thing to do is to make sure that you track your progress throughout this, because as you're going through, if I didn't weigh myself every single day or every other day, I don't think I would be where I'm at, and I don't think I would have had the impact that I had on my body that I achieved. And to be quite honest with you, some people, it may not work for them. It may discourage them. You just have to know that what you're doing is eventually going to compound and it's going to pay off. So if in that first week you don't see any major differences, which I think you would, 7 days, if you really put yourself to the grindstone and you, without a doubt, know what you're eating and you choose the correct foods, the correct meals, and you go to work and you work out every single day for 2 to 3 hours. And don't tell me you don't have 2 to 3 hours to work out unless you're working 16, 17-hour days, because you have time. Maybe not 2 to 3 hours, but you have time to work out, and you absolutely have time to make the correct choices when it comes to your eating. So those are excuses that I used to make for myself, and I cut that out of my life. I no longer make those excuses for myself. So I know if you're making those excuses for yourself, there's a mental barrier that you have to get over in order to be in a place where you can make those correct decisions. And if you need help, if you need someone to reach out to and you need someone to talk to about this, I can absolutely, anyone can feel free to reach out to me at all at any time, and I will be more than happy to help you get over that mental hurdle, that mental hump. I have a spreadsheet where I have a productivity sheet on there. I have a meal planning sheet on there. I have a workout sheet on there. There's also a portion of it where you type in your macros, how much protein, how much carbs, and how many grams of fat you have in a day. It calculates your calories for you. There's a BMR calculator on there that I have as well, where it shows what your basal metabolic rate is. That is your how many calories you would burn if you were to just be sitting or laying in bed all day, not including the active calories that you'd be having, that would be happening throughout the day. So I have a calculator on there. And then also, if you want to lose a pound a week, 2 pounds a week, 3 pounds a week, it also shows you how many calories you should be eating, gives you a calorie goal. And then you type in your protein, your fats, and your carbohydrates on the next sheet over. And everything's calculated for you on there as well. It's really easy, really simple to use. If anyone out there wants to use it at all, feel free to DM me, message me, and I can get that out to you, as soon as possible. So that'll help you with tracking your progress daily. And then hopefully that will also help you track your progress overall as well. And then review and adjust, right? So review yourself and review how much time you're putting into your meal prep, how much time you're putting into your workouts, your running, your lifting, and what is benefiting you the most, right? If you burn so many calories while you're lifting, maybe you just lift an extra hour rather than doing cardio. Now, cardio is good for you when you're on the treadmill, when you're on the elliptical, the Stairmaster, whatever your form of cardio is, the bike. But if you can lift and also get your cardio up while you're lifting, in my experience, that has been the most effective way to burn calories and to burn body fat as well. Because the more lean muscle mass that you have on your body, typically that will foster your higher BMR, right? And the muscle mass will start eating away at the fat content within your body. So just as you're going through this, maybe you start out running, maybe you start on the treadmill, and then you work your way into lifting a little bit more. You work your way into eating healthier. Maybe you just eat slightly healthier, and then you're like, hold on, like this isn't working for me. I have to change something else. There's something else that I have to take out of my diet. And, for a lot of it is calories in, calories out, but it's also, what are you eating? How are you pairing the certain things that you're eating? You know what's healthy, right? You know that whole grain bread with all natural peanut butter is definitely healthier for you than white bread with Jif peanut butter. And if you don't know, and those are things that you're not educated on, again, feel free to DM me, feel free to reach out to me. And if there's anything that I can help anyone with, I'm here to be able to help people with. But yeah, those are the 5 steps that I believe can help people in the goal setting process, which is define your objectives, break down everything into actionable steps, because no objective can be completed without actionable things that you can take toward them. Think of them like deliverables. Just make sure that you're taking those actionable steps every single day, ideally. And then also set deadlines for yourself, because that deadline creates urgency and it makes you want to do everything that you have to do on time. And also track your progress. Make sure you're updating yourself. Have an accountability buddy if you need an accountability buddy. Hey, by the end of the month, I want to be 20 pounds lighter. That person is going to call you at the end of the month and go, hey, are you 20 pounds lighter? No? All right, well, you better be working out. You better be making some changes. Then we better review. Step 5, review and adjust in order to make sure that you're on track for the next month. So I appreciate you guys listening. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Everything is at Excelcast other than Instagram, Excelcast_. Whenever I was making the Instagram account, I forgot the password the first time, so I did not have the actual Excelcast Instagram, so it's Excelcast_. But, I actually got my certified personal training certificate and also got my nutrition certificate. So if anyone wants any certified personal training help, if anyone wants any nutrition help, feel free to reach out to me. And what are you doing today to make yourself better? Answer that question, figure it out for yourself. And as always, stay blessed,